Hey, it's been a while, hasn't it? Like, a whole week, in fact. I remember it like it was last week, actually. We were playing Steam World Heist, right? Going through part two, but let's just say, not really in the mood to continue it at the moment, so, gonna play this other game that I've gotten into recently. TCG Cards Shop Simulator. It's exactly what you think it is. It's a game where you get to pretend you're running a trading card game shop. Developed and published by OP Neon. Apparently, this is like based off of a mobile game? Well, maybe I should say based off of. It's like, it's got similarities. I think it's got like the assets and the card game and everything, but they switched things up for the PC version, probably understandably so. Anyways, probably do this for a little bit and maybe chat and catch up and explain some things, cause yeah, I don't know. Just say stuff happened all at once, and yeah. Well, anyways, let's just get in here, right? So I'm in the middle of a run, and we're here running my shop, the card dealer. Yeah, I wasn't really the most creative mindset. I don't know. Maybe some other day. I wonder if there's like some way to rename the shop. I haven't found one yet. Maybe I should. I probably should have looked that up. Well, doesn't matter. Yeah, let's. I can show you how things go, and then maybe through the process I can just start yapping. I don't know. Alright. We are actually starting week 3. Funny how that works. Alright, so yeah, like you got a shop here. You can lay out the shop. You can choose where to put the tables, the shelves, your individual card displays, the checkout counter, and just like the little corner shop, a little out of the way, right? I do like how they modeled out a lot of this scenery, although obviously the non-card shops, well, they don't have to be as detailed, because like, who's gonna go out here except for kicks, right? But yeah, like a little corner store. I find that interesting. I feel like that's how most card shops are, right? They're a little bit out of the way. Maybe not a road that traveled and just like, man, it feels like you found like a hidden elf village or something, right? Yeah, once you... Oh, I guess you also have a phone app, which kind of helps you, manage your major functions. So you can go ahead and order stock from here. Thankfully, they've categorized that for you. You can order more furniture, like shelves and other appliances and what have you. Renovate your store. It's mostly... Actually, it's like almost all expansions, and also you get a second shop lot. I just like how there's a URL up there. Just realized. Oh, man. I wonder if that actually takes you somewhere. Like, if you type this into a browser, would you go to tetramontcg.com and get, like, the fictional website? There you got all sorts of stuff. You even got, like, a price list. Find that interesting. And, oh. Yeah, this is a recruiter. Your fake LinkedIn, you can have extra employees just like help you with things and bills to pay. So yeah, like you gotta pay up rent, you gotta pay electric. So have to make sure you don't spend all your money on cards and stuff. Okay, it's enough menu hopping. Let's open this store and get some folks in here. So have you played like other sort of store simulator games, especially like Supermarket Simulator? The structure is it's nigh identical. So you have like, folks, they'll walk in, check out your wares, maybe pick a few up. I'll cover this in a moment. You know, once they got what they want, they'll come over to the checkout, and then you go over here, and then you scan everything, which is just holding the left mouse button, and then they'll pay by cash or card. You have to go process the payment. They're gonna pull by card, so you just pay it, punch in 29.01, and boom, money gets wired directly into your account. Of course, there's a bit of a TCG flavor here too, so you got tables that get set up where you can have people just like sit down, use them for a bit to play card games, and you actually have like an hourly rate you can charge them. Ooh, exact change. Love those folks. But yeah, once they get up, you once again, the money gets wired into your account, so those are your sources of income. Nice thing is that they'll also make comments about stuff, so they'll look at a thing, they'll say good price, or maybe it's a little expensive, or I wish I had this, so you get that sort of immediate feedback and you can decide what to do with it. See this mofo just trying to break a 5 pretty much. I have to confess, I'm not innocent of that either. I have the occasions where I will try to maybe pay with larger bills so I can get some change bills. I wouldn't do anything as absurd as like, you know, break 100, like I often read about in stores. I feel like that's maybe a line too far. A 20 is about as far as I'd go, right? Because I feel like, you know, most people carry around 20s and maybe change for a 20. I feel like if the cashier really didn't want to, they'd probably say something like, "Sorry, we can't break that for you right now. Do you have smaller bills?" Oh yeah, this is the other unique mechanic that is sadly mired in some truth. You'll occasionally have like the stinky person that kind of wanders in, and it's kind of funny how you deal with them. So, as you saw, one of the things you can sell is air freshener, but you can just like grab a can of it and use it to kind of spray these folks, and they'll eventually get freshened up. It's honestly a bummer how much of that is just a truth. Like, there are some people who just do not care about hygiene. Like, you hear enough stories about people at cons and trading card game events who just stink to high heaven, and they do not care. And there's got to be limits to it. I know occasionally I'll skip a day for showering, but even I have my upper limits with like how long I'll go without a shower before I start feeling super icky and just need to clean myself off, right? I mean, it's also something that doesn't affect me, right? I go out in the public and it starts affecting other people, so it's like kind of rude in a way too, because you're just making the experience worse for everyone around you. It's like the thing you got to keep in mind, right? Sometimes, you know, certain people have certain habits, and that's fine, as long as it's not hurting anyone else. I think that's kind of like where the line is drawn, right? Like, once the things you're doing start to adversely affect other folks, then maybe it's time to, you know, start reevaluating how things are. Oh my god. It's always the sleeves. I feel like if anyone buys anything in bulk, it's like a ton of sleeves. Then again, knowing how trading card games can be, yeah, you probably just buy up a whole lot of them, right? I know I would. Anyways, this is like essentially the loop. You kind of, you know, you run stock items on shelves and then hit the checkout, and okay, here we go. Yeah, hit the checkout, and then just kind of go through the motions, right? Make sure everything's good. Yeah, so I guess we can get to the other part. Why did I just like suddenly disappear for the whole ass week? I don't know how much detail I want to go into, but Long and short of it is that I had like a pretty urgent situation about my room that kind of needed addressing right away, and unfortunately it's not like a task that I can just like complete in a few days. That's why I just like canceled last Sunday's stream and also did all Gorilla this week, because I actually need that much extra time. Honestly, a problem too is not something that like came up all of a sudden. It was something that's kind of been in the back for a while. Unfortunately, it's like reached a point where I can't really ignore it anymore. Honestly, the worst part is that like this problem is not like of my own doing. It's like someone else kind of sort of caused it. I don't know. I tried to kind of mitigate it, but the other person was just not having it, like, at all. They just kept on going through with it, and I don't know. I think that just like sent me spiraling, because it wasn't a small thing either. This was like ginormous, and I don't know. They wouldn't let up even when they saw like just how bad things were getting. And I think after a certain point, I just like got tired of it. Right? I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I just gotta deal with it, right? Because hey, even if it's not something I should be doing, unfortunately, I'm the only one who is probably in a position to best take care of it. At the very least, if I want to, you know, complete it on my own terms and not have it go any worse, right? So, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm still not quite through with it. I've made, like, a substantial amount of progress, but I'm not in the clear yet, so still lots to do. So I think next week will probably also be exact change. Oh my god, you are a good one. You are a good customer. Yeah, I think next week will also have to be a Gorilla week, just so I can. Wow, you're a super fan of this game, aren't you? $140. That's like about how much I spend at hobby stores as well. Yeah. That's like the long and short of it. I'm kind of in over my head and stuff, and I just need to hunker down and just get to it, right? I just need to do it. It's kind of like the advice you gotta. It seems to be the general advice these days, right? Just if you want something done, just do it, right? Don't sit around waiting for something to happen, because most of the time, it's not just going to start happening unless you kind of put forth the effort in making it happen, right? So getting new stock is like a two-step process. First, you have to buy the license to be able to stock the thing. And then after that, you can start buying it and putting it on your shelf, so... I guess you kind of need a money sink, considering, you know, making money and spending it is the whole thing. Nice, this is like what a lot of games boil down to, right? It's like a resource management simulator. Sometimes it's money you manage, sometimes it's like health and mana, sometimes it's other things, like maybe morale, or people, or your sanity, or something like that, right? I guess the one upshot of being off for a week instead, I got a whole lot of topics, right? I got a whole lot of things that I've kind of made note of over the week that we can perhaps talk about if I start running out of things, which may or may not happen. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Honestly, the whole thing still just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, because it's like... I don't know. I guess it's just like a core part of me where I just want to kind of be independent, right? I just want to have my own space. I want to have a place where I can just like do things for me and not have to worry about other people just kind of like getting into my business. And for the most part, it seems to work out. But occasionally you'll get that moment where things go awry, and I felt like right, the whole hoopla is kind of like related to the whole boundaries thing and people not treating me like an adult and not willing to negotiate, try to figure something out for the sake of my mental health. That's the unfortunate part. Like, some people seem to think that just like superior force is like the only mode that they have, that all they ever have done is just like hard truth lessons, and they think that's like the only way they can do things. But while there are some folks who might need that sort of splash of cold water, there's some other folks where maybe you don't have to like just go from jump like straight to 100 like at the first go, right? Maybe help them out, give them a little bit to work with at a time, rather than just like throwing them into the deep end and then telling them, hey, stop drowning, right? It's like that one Penny Arcade comic. I forget what it was about. I think it was like Mass Effect, right? Where the metaphor was them just like throwing them into the deep end of the pool, and then someone says, I'm drowning, and then they say, stop drowning, right? Just stop drowning, taps forehead. In the end, though, well, I'm just gonna have to buck up and just deal with it, right? As much as things should have played out differently. Well, they didn't, and that's how life is, right? Sometimes you get dealt a bad hand, but you just have to kind of work with what you got anyway. So I could just press enter and just have them all leave right now, but I kind of like waiting, because very rarely you'll get the occasional customer who will maybe buy a few things before they head out of the store, right? Make a little bit of extra money. Actually got a lot, so I could probably just pay my bills, right? Just like that. Unfortunately, it's not like real life. You don't pay your bills every month. You pay them like every week. I know it's like a whole gameplay thing, right? Because yeah. Hello, Les Console. Welcome. How are you doing tonight? It's good to see you. I hope you are having a fine night yourself. Alright, everyone's gone. Now I will close up shop. So yeah, you saw this at the beginning too, but you get a daily report, right? You can see what everyone got and how much money you made and what kind of stuff everyone bought and everything. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Here we are the next day, so thankfully, you know, unlike real life, you have all the time in the world to kind of get the lay of the land, make sure everything's stocked, that all your places are filled up, and maybe rearrange the place if you need to. But actually, I should probably buy that card deck, right? Because I got a license for it. Might as well throw some of that out there. It's like, new products in. I got some card stuff. Although, let's see if there's anything else I need to stock up on. Doing good, just got home from work and ate dinner. Ah, okay. You're winding down the night then, I suppose. It's what I would do too, right? If I just came from home from work, I would just, sit down on my computer, start up a stream. That's what I did back in the day. I remember when I worked at my other place, just go home, start watching videos on Giant Bomb. Man, those were the days. I could probably move some stuff around. Free up a little bit of shelf space for some other things, right? Easily enough, you do have a limit to how many items you can hold in your hand, but it seems like it's like only card packs that you can have like multiples of. Everything else you can only like carry one at a time. Even the card sleeves. You'd think you'd be able to carry like more than one pack of card sleeves, but it's not the case. Okay. Actually, let's see, what else do I need? Got a lot of the pig figures and the shark figures, got a few dice. I wonder if I should get another colored dice, perhaps. Ooh, I do have a question. What are you having for dinner? Fortunately, my dinner isn't very exciting. I just ate like 2 hot dogs and a whole bunch of fries. That was actually like my dinner for the whole week, really. just fries and hot dogs, because like hot dogs come in a pack of 8, so I just ate that for the majority of the week. Okay, so you can like put 9 in one shelf spot. Cool, cool. It was some rice and steak meal my roommate made. It was pretty good. Ooh, rice and steak. That does sound delicious. It's like a good quick thing too, right? Just like any sort of rice and meat usually is a good combo. Yeah, I guess that's the other thing with these sorts of games. You can decide the price. Although, for me, I don't like do anything too overly complicated. It's just, whatever market price is plus 10%. And if it's like a bigger item, then I'll usually try to round it to the nearest 25 or 50 cents or $1, depending. Let's put some more cards up for sale here. Okay, I think I'm finally ready to open this store. Get it on. Everyone, I have a new product in stock. It's this card deck here. Got a wait. What's its name again? Pygmy, right? Pygmy deck. I don't know. Everyone likes fire, right? Fire. Yeah, come grab a few, or get some individual cards. That's cool too. Ooh, exact change. You are cool. I like how they held up dollar bills, but it just ended up totaling up to 50 cents anyway. Oh no, stinky person. You stop being stinky. Okay, you want 81 cents back. See, I can't fault them for giving me like $1, because, sometimes you just want to give it physical cash. Oh, I need 1 more cent. I've actually never played a simulator game like this. It's relaxing, right? It's kind of funny, right? Because it's like the most maniacal of tasks and they turn into a game, but There's something just like zen about it, right? The limited number of actions and the way to kind of streamline things, so you're not really like getting into the details of everything. It's just like, you know, the theme park version of whatever you happen to be doing. Not to mention it has the whole classic carrot on a stick kind of incentive thing. Like this one has the level system, and as you level up, you unlock new stuff that you can sell, new furniture, shop expansions, and all that. It's like there was a term for this that I've seen people kind of kick around for these kinds of games. They're like podcast games, right? It's not something you would just like play by itself, but maybe something to do while you, say, watch a stream or listen to a podcast or something like that, right? Just like something to kind of give the rest of your mind to do while you're doing the other thing, right? So you're not just like sitting at your seat and doing the other thing. Sometimes it's simulator games, sometimes it's games like Diablo 4, sometimes it's like maybe another game like a farm life simulator, what have you. Just anything that maybe doesn't require like the utmost concentration. The cash register part reminds me of my actual job too much. I can imagine. I know a lot of people worked in retail probably gotta do a lot of this, right? You gotta scan each item, or maybe if you're really unlucky, you gotta punch in the price on the register, gotta total it up, and you gotta take the payment, and you gotta do all the formalities, make sure you get everything just right, because you are dealing with other people's money, and you kind of don't want to mess things up. Eventually, you kind of just like fall into a routine that gets kind of enter that trance-like state where you're just going through the motions, just counting down the minutes until the hour is done. Your shift is done. You get to kind of go home and recharge. Wow, you're getting a lot of packs. Thank you for your patronage. Exactly, today was pretty chill for me, though. I was training a new hire. Ooh! That's always fun. It's pretty cool, though, that your establishment gives you... trusts you enough with that sort of responsibility. They're like, yeah, get this new fella up to speed. We trust you. You're a capable enough fella. I do like how some of the customers who come into this place are like, remind me of Walter White a lot. It's like, Jesse, we gotta go get some cards. Also, there's gonna be an ad break coming in like a few seconds. Just a heads up. So if you want to go like grab a drink or stretch or, you know, do whatever you want to do. I have ads set for like minute and a half every half hour, so that's how things are with me. I think I can get maybe rare packs. Ooh, I should probably get like more rare box sets as well. Ooh, I should probably get more air freshener as well. No worries, I'll probably refill my water. Sounds good. Sounds good. Ooh, maybe I could get some sleeves too. They tend to be pretty cheap. I feel like as far as like profit goes, sleeves might be the best option. If we just want to go like super meta or something. Okay. You fit the critical threshold. I think I'm out of air freshener, so I should probably order up another box Okay, 36, 68. Okay, we're good. Alright, y'all, give me a moment here. I need to get some stuff. A rare box. Some cleanser. And what the heck, we'll get some more sleeves. It's kind of within your interest to try to buy as much as possible, because there is the delivery fee. You know, it's not that much, but it could add up, right? Even if it is like $5, $6 here and there. It's like money you're kind of losing. Sort of gotta calculate that into the overall scheme of things, right? I do like how everyone has a paper. Ah, okay, I hate you. You absolute dingus. How dare you break a 20? Even though I would probably do the same thing, how dare you? Here we go. Let's shove some sleeves on here. And I guess we'll put the rest up here. You know, I didn't realize I could actually stock the top shelf. I thought it was just a bottom two. But I was playing this in Discord with my friends group, and one of them was like, hey, Azure, you do realize you could put items on the top shelf, right? I was like, wait, you can? So I could actually just have, like, more stuff on sale? So I started doing that. Ooh, I need to restock the card table as well. I wonder if I should get a second one, just like get another card display table. Man, it's a lot of walking back and forth. Kind of like real life, I suppose. Guess one of the things that's unlike real life is that if you set a price for one of the cards, every card that's like it will just be similarly priced, right? Because I wonder. I mean, it is a TCG card simulator. I have to imagine they're gonna implement card grading at some point, right? So you'll have cards that might be in various states that you might have to price accordingly. Also, welcome back from the ads. I hope you got everything you needed. Hopefully the ads weren't too weird. There, okay. Ooh, I should... Mental note. Get a regular card box at some point. Maybe deck boxes as well. You know, part of me wants to maybe get back into a TCG, but I know, like, how much of an absolute money sink these things can be. You know, depending on the type of game, too. You might end up having to spend a lot of money for a deck. I don't know. I feel like I probably don't want to enter the competitive circuit, so maybe that'll be a boon. Just buy a casual deck and have some fun with that. Fortunately, I think the one friend I know who plays a TCG mostly does like the digital game. So yeah, they play is it Magic the Gathering Arena? Which, hey, more power to them, right? They said they appreciate it because kind of saves them of having to you know, take out space for the cards. I guess let's take an advantage and a disadvantage. On one hand, sure, you don't have to worry about the space. On the other hand, your digital cards are tied to that platform, and you know, if for some reason or another the platform decides to go kaput, yeah, Wizards could easily just like take their ball and go home, and you're kind of left up the creek without a paddle. Probably be a bit of an uproar over that. So who knows how much that would hold. That was actually kind of an amazing moment. Uh, when the crew like did their little presentation thing, and one of their big bullet points was hey, we're committed to the longevity of the series, so we're working on an offline mode for the Crew 2 and the Crew Motorfest, and we'll give you more news at a later date. That was pretty cool. I think they were mostly motivated to respond because of that one guy who kind of spearheaded the Stop Killing Games movement, and that was because they went and just shut down the Crew 1. Like, you can't even play it anymore, even though that game does have a single player component, which I had to agree is like fundamentally absurd. Unfortunately, they only said they would have an offline mode for Crew 2 and Motorfest. Sadly, it does not seem like it will retroactively apply to the Crew 1s. I wonder if that's like mostly because they already kind of wiped everything clean, and kind of getting everything back in order would be a work and a half. Or maybe their plan is, hey, you know, maybe we can just like put out the Crew remastered at a later date and then make an offline mode for that. Honestly, would be the best case scenario. At least we would be able to play the Crew then, right? Okay, I can order bulk boosters for the regulars, red deck boxes, and so I would really need, right? What is the Crew? I've never played. Okay, so the Crew is like a open world racing game by Ubisoft. I know it's not Ubisoft in open world, big shock, but it was pretty unique in that at least in the Crew 1 and the Crew 2, the open world was like kind of like a playground version of the USA. You could like go from one end of the country to the other. Granted, they condensed a lot of it, and they don't have everything there, but the scale of it was pretty unique, and this is a pretty good draw. The handling and everything was like pretty decent too, and the first game was like this sort of like gritty crime story where you're playing as a guy who's trying to infiltrate a gang to take out the people who killed his brother, and you kind of went on like a road trip around the USA, doing your races and taking down opponents and what have you. And then the Crew 2 just went in like a completely different direction, right? There was like the only connection to like the Crew 1 was that you're still like driving around the USA, but otherwise the focus like completely switched to just being happy fun time motorsports, which was fine enough, right? It worked pretty well for what it did. And then Motorfest went and kind of scaled things way back. So instead of just like having the entirety of the USA again, they instead just like had everything take place in like one section of Hawaii, and that's where the entire game takes place. And I think they're about to expand that, actually, so yeah. Anyways, that's kind of like the entirety of that's the trajectory of the Crew. And the Crew 1 was like rather infamous because I think it was like around March. It was just like straight up shut down, right? Like, even though it did have a single player component, you just can't play it anymore. And as you can imagine, that royally sucks, to the point where some people started like a whole stop killing games movement, and I guess said before, Guess that kind of moved them to go, okay, yeah, all right, we hear you. You will still be able to play Crew 2 and Motorfest even if we shut off the online features, which, hey, you know what? Good. That's what we want to hear. Interesting, the only racing game I've played is Need for Speed Most Wanted. Oh. Did you play the 2005 version, or did you play, like, the 2012 version made by Criterion? I like them both. They're both great. Most Wanted 2005 was, like, pretty awesome, because that's where they introduced, like, the police pursuits, and especially in that game, they were, like, incredibly intense, and just, like, in your face, and there's, like, a real risk-reward component to it, too. And, 2012 was actually more just, like, Burnout Paradise 2. Like, they still have pursuits and stuff, but they were scaled back, the penalties were less severe, and the game was just more about, like, exploring the place and, you know, taking down your 10 key opponents, and really wasn't that much of a plot compared to 2005. Definitely had that sort of Criterion mark on it, and I enjoyed it for what it is, but I know other people weren't, like, the keenest on it. Both, actually! Ah, okay. Yeah, they're both great games, for different reasons. Most Wanted, I do actually want to maybe play on stream at some point in the future. I probably have to do a lot of finagling to get there. I tried playing Most Wanted 2012 a while ago, but unfortunately, the version I bought inadvertently also had, like, the super deluxe unlocker pack, so I just had all the cars unlocked, and then was like, well, half the fun of Most Wanted 2012 was just, you know, hunting down these cars and kind of, you know, unlocking them for use on the road, and if you just have everything out the gate, then really not that much incentive, is there? So that's like a thing I regret doing. If I perhaps read the fine print easier, or more closely. Things might have been different. Played both of those so long ago. Yeah. It's definitely been a while since I played Most Wanted 2005. That was like way back on the original Xbox 360, that's where I played it. And it wasn't my copy either, it was actually my older brother's copy. He was a bit of a car nut, so he had like a whole bunch of racing games I kind of piggybacked off of him in that regard. Part of me wishes that we would see like more Need for Speed games get remastered. Honestly, the fact that they remastered Hot Pursuit 2010 feels like an anomaly, because that game is probably a bit of an anomaly in the series. It was just like a straightforward event-based racer at a period of time where Need for Speed games were more known for being like open-world romps. Here's one that's just like, yeah, this is like pretty much Burnout, but Need for Speed? Actually, it's like Need for Speed physics with a Burnout structure, right? Played it on the PS2, I think it was my dad's. Ah, okay. It was on the PS2, wasn't it? Oh my god. Ah, that was a while ago. Oh yeah, it would make sense it was on the PS2 because yeah, because I remember I think Most Wanted had like a little bonus if you had save data from like Underground 2, I think. You get like extra money, enough that would let you buy like a fourth starter car that you normally wouldn't have if you had just the cash they give you by default. I kind of missed that era. I missed the era where you would get like a tiny extra bonus in the game for having played another game. I guess it would be a hard thing to balance, right? You don't want to make it so essential that you have to play the previous game, but you also don't want to make it like pointless either, right? You want to acknowledge that, hey, thanks for kind of sticking with us. Here's a little something extra for you. As it kind of came to mind because I bought like the Fate Extella games on Steam recently. I was kind of looking up on stuff and I saw they had Extella Link, the sequel game, has a little bonus if you had like save data from the previous game. You could like get extra costumes and stuff. Apparently on consoles, all you need is to save. If you have to save, then they'll unlock the stuff, but since I got them on Steam, it seems like people are saying that you may not be able to do that, which I guess makes sense. I guess as far as old save bonuses go, I know I brought this up already, but my favorite one have to be Ratchet and Clanks, especially like the first 3 games, right? It's like Going Commando, 5 games returning from the first game you could just get for free if you had like save data from the first game, and then Up Your Arsenal did the same, but they also had a 10% discount on everything you could get if you had save data from the first game. It's a nice touch. Never something that like completely broke the game in half. It was just a little extra, a little way of saying, hey, thanks for sticking with us, right? I feel like instead of doing that, they have pre-order digital deluxe bonuses now. Oh, yeah. And that's its own thing, too, right? It kind of falls into the same thing where it's like... either they're so useless that you end up not using them after, like, the first 30 minutes or so, or they're so good they kind of bust the balance in half and maybe impact your experience of the game significantly. Like, even the cosmetic stuff tends to be almost useless, especially because the games that tend to have cosmetics usually have other options, and the options in-game tend to be better to an extent, so you end up not using any of your pre-order stuff. Like, I pre-ordered the Helldivers 2, and, you know, they have, like, that one pre-order armor set, but I have not used that, like after the first hour or so, like, after I got other armor sets that I found more useful. Going Commando was my first Ratchet and Clank. Ooh, that's a good start. That's a good start point. I just feel like that's, like, the point where... one of the points where people feel like Ratchet and Clank really started popping off, because that was like the games that added, that introduced a bunch of mechanics that would become mainstays of the series, right? You had the leveling weapons, you had like the much nicer Ratchet, you had you know, just a whole bunch of stuff. I had to admit, Going Commando was also my first Ratchet and Clank. I played the demo for the first game, but I actually did not pick up the game itself until like much later. Yeah, Going Commando absolutely ruled, and I think one of its advantages was that there was a lot of the game too, right? A lot of plants to go to, and there's like a lot of mini games as well. So you could do the flight, you could do the racing. And then there were the Clank segments and the more puzzle-like areas, and they had 2 open world zones as well. And then you could do it all again in challenge mode. Ooh, someone bought my decks. Alright. Finally moving some product. Don't know if I ever beat it. I was pretty young when I played. That's usually how it goes, isn't it? When you're a kid, you kind of maybe don't your skills haven't fully developed yet, so you know, things that you get now, you realize that you probably didn't get back then. Or it's always the funny thing to note where yeah, maybe there's a game you remember being like super ultra difficult or something, but you decide to revisit it like way later, and then you actually don't have that much of an issue with it. You ever have a game like that? I think the one that kind of sticks with me the most is Banjo-Kazooie. I remember when I was young, I managed to kind of play all the way up to the final boss, Gruntilda, and just having like an absolute massive amount of trouble trying to defeat her. And I actually ended up never beating the game while I was young. But then, when they put it out again on Xbox 360, I downloaded it. I bought it and downloaded it for nostalgia's sake, played through it again, got to the final boss, and I think I actually defeated her on like my first try. Right. I was like a kid back then, and I remember just Gruntilda just like being this absolute menace and just kicking my butt 6 ways to Sunday, and then I come back like a seasoned veteran years later. I'm like, you weren't that bad. You actually weren't that bad. Alright. I can probably get more red dice. Oh, definitely more of the boxes, the blue deck boxes. Maybe some rare packs as well. I wonder if I have enough money for them. It's gonna be the key thing. Just wait for the end of the day. Funny enough, for me, it was Spyro. For some reason, I never beat it. Sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes you just kind of drift away from the game for one reason or another. But I went back on the Switch and beat it recently. Good for you. It's nice to get that kind of closure, right? And you're just like, oh man, I remember not beating this game. Let's get back to it and kind of wrap it up and just you know, put a neat little bow on it. Oh, here's another game that, well, it was like, I guess, a slightly different circumstance, but Sly 3. Because I was like a bit of a Sly kick one summer. I just started playing all the Sly games. And I came to Sly 3, and unfortunately, like, the copy of the game I had was like defective or something, because it'll always freeze up at like a certain point in the mission, and I just ended up never beating it. It was a bummer too, because I was like very close to the end of the game, but unfortunately I just had to let it go. But then I got like the Sly HD collection like a long time later, and I was able to play Sly 3 again, and then I went and beat it proper. I finally managed to kind of close the book on that arc. I'm thankful for that. What else do I need? What do I have so far? Oh, right, red dice. Let's get some of that. Ooh, maybe I should get a license for special sleeves. I'll just throw that in there as well. Oh my god, am I gonna have enough space for everything? I might actually not. That's okay. We can just like shove the boxes over in this corner. Sly games were so much fun. They were. Honestly, out of like the three, the big platformer series on the PS2, Sly, Jak, and Ratchet, I think Sly was the one that kind of stuck the closest with its platformer route. Like even when it kind of Sly 2 and 3 kind of became more like big heisting games, they still had the platforming elements in them. Yeah, it's pretty funny though. Whereas Sly 1 was just pretty much like Crash Bandicoot, but with a thieving raccoon. 2 and 3 was where they kind of expanded it out. While they kept the platforming elements, they shifted to more like an open world format. Also, play as characters other than Sly, which was pretty cool. It's honestly a bummer where Sly ended up now. Because Thieves in Time is just bleh. Like, the gameplay was fine enough, but good lord, that story just left such a bitter taste in everyone's mouths, me included. Ugh. And the worst part is that, the devs, Sanzaru, kind of got picked up by some other folks, so the likelihood that we'll see a continuation from Thieves in Time is just extremely unlikely. Who knows, maybe give it long enough, they might try to go for a series reboot or something, but man. If they ever do come back around to the Sly series, it's gonna be a bit of an uphill battle. I'll be rooting for it, though. I remember they were gonna make a movie, too. Like, I remember a long time ago, they put out that teaser for a Sly movie, along with, the Ratchet and Clank movie. I was like, hey, this is pretty neat, because Sly would be the perfect fit for an animated movie, considering it's like went pretty heavy on the Saturday morning cartoon aesthetic already. But past that teaser, nothing really materialized. I wonder if it's because Ratchet and Clank movie really didn't do as well as they'd hoped, that they just like quietly put the kibosh on the Sly movie. And they didn't even do anything with Jak, right? At least Sly still gets a mention here and there. I feel like with Jak, for the most part, it's like they don't say anything about him. And I enjoyed those games, right? I know maybe some people aren't like the hottest on them. Granted, it did go in like a pretty drastically different direction, right? Like, the first Jak and Daxter was pretty much Crash Bandicoot with a different coat of paint. But then come Jak 2, and suddenly everything went like dark future, and it was like a kid-friendly version of GTA, and it's a direction that I approve of for the most part, but I could perhaps understand how people who were fans of the first game might not be fans of the later games. Yeah, if you don't see like too many people. At least I feel like you don't see too many people clamoring for a continuation of the Jak series. Now, another ad. So, go take another break, get another drink, maybe go surf on another website, do whatever you wish to do. someone's buying the branded sleeves. Alright. Elite 8. 25. Yeah. $10 back. Here you go. Okay, regular boxes are still full. Kinda making money hand over fist, to be honest. And 486. There you go. Ooh, you're buying the big stuff. Ooh, exact change too. You are on my good customers list. Welcome back from Adland. I hope you had a good time, whatever you happen to be doing. This is definitely like a personal thing for me, but one game that I'm sad didn't get a sequel in the Jack series was Jak X. It was like it was kind of funny because it was like the take on the mascot racer went in the direction you would expect it would, being the sort of like darker and edgier platformer and everything. It just felt right, and the driving felt good, and I kind of like the blend of combat and racing they had. Something I wish, that sort of blend, perfect blend, I didn't quite get. Or for me, anyway. I didn't quite see it again until, Lego 2K Drive, but even that was an open-world racer, not just like, you know, an event-based track game. I only ever played a demo for one of the Jak games, but I don't remember which one. Ah. Well, depending on whichever one you played, you would have had, like, different experiences, but... yeah, demos! I'm kind of glad demos are making, like, a bit of a resurgence. It's always nice to have, to be able to play, like, a little bit of a game before you decide to kind of fully commit into it. It's even better when the demos are like, wow! It's a lot of deck boxes. I guess I have a lot of cards you need to kind of store. Ooh, $159. Thank you so much for your patronage. The duality of man. I feel like instead of demos, we get beta early access. Oh yeah, it's either that or you only get the demo if you pre-order the game, which is like kind of defeats the purpose of a demo though, because you know the point of a demo is to like get a feel for a game before you buy it. Although I guess in this day and age, it's maybe not the worst because you could possibly like hop onto YouTube and see a video of it. Granted, it's not perfect, right? Because, you can't quite beat first-hand experience, but I suppose it's the best you could do. And I kind of not the biggest fan of the whole early access trend going, right? The whole like, oh yeah, if you buy our game now, you can start playing the game like, what, 3 days to a week early? It's like one of the things I'll agree what most people say about it. It's like, if you're able to give like, 3 days to a week early access to certain folks, why not just like let everyone play? It feels just like a whole sort of piecemeal incentivizing, right? Like, this is the kind of stuff that should be given to everyone at no extra cost, but they've somehow managed to monetize playtime. And, gah! Wah! What? Bruh! I don't feel great. Totally feel the same way. Yeah. Betas, I kind of feel like, are on the same level of demo. It's like, I guess I can get it to an extent where maybe you want to stress test it. You don't want to just make a beta available to everyone right away. You want to scale your way up, so just having like maybe a way to kind of gradually introduce people might be a fair enough justification. But it does feel like in some other cases, you know, beta is just another monetized incentive, which, yeah, also doesn't feel great. It is nice when you do get like that beta that is just completely open to the public and you can just try it out. Although it's been a while since I last played a beta proper. Oh. Can't even remember the last one I played, to be honest. This week, though, has had some pretty wild announcements. This is a holdup. I want $20 in ones. All right, well, you know, you got a 20. I don't know. We gotta do the exchange part here. You know, I gotta make sure that this registers doesn't have any negative money in it, right? Because that's gonna come back and impact my performance review at the end of the quarter. The last beta I played was Destiny 2 or Fallout 76. I don't remember which. Those would be like two games that would justify having a beta, especially an open beta. If you have an online game, you totally want to have a you want to see how far you can push it. So, you know, you can fix things up if you need to before the proper full release. Lol. I think I read a story like that. I read a story where someone was like at the register and they were getting held up, but the cashier just was like so absolutely apathetic to the robber's response that the robber was just like completely dumbfounded. He just like walked out of there. Everyone else is just like, holy crap, did you realize what just happened there, man? You just like told this robber to F off and they were like threatening you and everything. I don't think they even realized it until like way later. Kind of thing where it's like, oh, you don't realize what you just did until it's like, oh my god. Like if they had been like, you know, properly coherent at that point, they wouldn't have acted the way they did. Okay, I need to spray you down. Thankfully, that's like one of those acceptable breaks from reality. Imagine in real life, people probably wouldn't take too well to just like you running up to them, just spraying them with an air freshener. But in this game, nah, you do that. You are within your rights. It can be cathartic in a way. If I was at the end of my shift, I bet I would feel the same way. Yeah, I could see that, right? Yeah, you put up with a lot of stuff over, you know, however many hours you worked, and you're like, just run out of F's to give. Or you're just like so out of it, you don't even realize what's going on. Is it just me, or does everyone who buys like just an air freshener always pay with a 20? Feels like they do that. Okay. Let's see. Get green deck boxes. Maybe some blue dice. Air freshener, maybe? Oh, I should get some of the rare boxes as well. Okay. Get that. Air freshener. Dice. Did I get the... No, I didn't get deck boxes. Blue ones, right? Still have some money left over. What else can I pick up? Maybe I should get some more booster packs. Oh yeah, I guess I could show off this other aspect. You know, this is TCG Card Shop Simulator. So one of the things you can do is open these packs yourself. Just crack it open, see what's inside. They even got the animation and everything. And look at that! You get cards. Right, they say some stuff, you get the art, the text, and everything, and the card value on the side here, I'm covering it up, but yeah, you can see. They'll tell you the market value, 17 cents, 10 cents, 12 cents, 49 cents. Okay, so this one is maybe not the best, but we'll see what's in here. Okay, 20, 49, 21, 21. Oh, okay. First one that's over $1. Look at that, it's nice foil card too. 10 cents, all right. A little better, a little better. Nice thing is that they tell you like the pack's worth too, so you can kind of figure out at a glance, did you get your money's worth out of this pack? Did you? Oof. Okay, one more. Come on, give me something good. Man. I mean, got like 2 decent packs and 2 kind of duds. Guess it could have been worse. You can get some cards that have like, you know, the really big prices. We're talking like, you know, $70 or more. You know, just like real life, right? You know, I was like one of those types that used to obsess over the market price of a card. But I feel like these days, unless the card is like the super rare dealio, probably won't matter too much. I'll just play with it because, hey, that's still the whole point of a card game, right? It's to buy the cards and play them, right? Not just collect them. Although I know, you know, some people do collect them, and that's totally cool. But if someone wants to play with them, that's fine too, right? Don't worry about the market value that much. I gotta head to bed. Hope you have a good rest of the stream. All right, have a good night, Les. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, like my kind of worry about card value is actually something, unfortunately, my parents had. They were like obsessed with that. Always just like the market value of everything. I remember a long time ago when I was like more into the Pokemon trading card game. I was at like a community thing. I think it was like the Pokemon trading card game league, and kid asked me to trade, and I was like, hey, yeah, it's like, you know, hey, if you give me the one card you have, I'll give you 2 of my cards. And You know, I looked over it, made sure that everything was on the up and up, and you know, at least from my perspective, it seemed like a good deal, right? Because I should have gotten greens. Okay. Well, I got money. I can buy that. So here we go. I'll eat the delivery fee for that. I wonder if it's time for me to like get an expansion, because I seem to have a constant surplus of money. But yeah, you know, I did the trade, and we were both pretty satisfied. And I remember going to my mom, because I was like super excited. It's like, hey mom, I bet I was trading with this other kid. They gave me the cards, and I got these cards, and actually I don't think I even got to that, because my mom's already freaking out by the fact that I traded. It's like, why did you trade? Do you know that everyone out there is gonna just try to hoodwink you? But I was like, oh, we're never buying cards for you again. And yeah, that ended up being true for a while. But the fact that she was like just so absolutely paranoid of that kind of thing, even though, you know, I as a kid, I you know, it was like the kid version of it, but I did my diligence, right? I wasn't just like trading things willy-nilly. I was trying to make sure I got what I thought was a good deal out of it, but she didn't care. Just like the fact that I did it at all seemed to set her off, and kind of thing where it's like you wish they would at least have trust in you, right? Or at least maybe realize that perhaps market value should not be like the be-all end-all of everything. So I remember there was a promotional card that we got that my mom forbade me from using, because again, market value. And I had a friend who also played the Pokemon TCG, and he was pretty freely using that promotional card. I'm like, wait, but don't you care about the market value? And he's like, who cares about that? I just want to play with the card. And I wish I had that sort of. I wish I had parents with that kind of, maybe a bit more freedom. I wouldn't say devil may care attitude, because that's like also not the kind of extreme I want. Right, you want someone who can like perhaps you know, give you a bit of breathing room, but still kind of help you out if you do, you know, end up falling. But I felt like my parents were always at the two extremes. They were always like, just we will do everything for you, or we will do nothing for you. It was the kind of thing where if you tried to stake it out, be independent, and you messed up like even a tiny bit, they were like, see, this is what happens when you don't let us do things for you. Let me tell you, that was a real confidence booster right there. /S. Man, they are coming in. Ooh, I should probably check my rent and utilities. I wonder if I should move the tables and the shelves. So rent $300. 55 for electricity. Well, they did say rent would go up depending on the size of the shop, so that makes sense. I should probably get another card table then, so I can have more cards out. Should probably be more aggressive with opening packs too. Oh! No, they don't need change. So one of the things I can appreciate about this game, they have stoppers in here, so they do give you like a bit of margin for error for giving change, but if you're like way over the limit, then they just kind of they stop you right there. It's like, hold up! You messed something up there, go back and check your work again. You motherfucker. Yeah, as I was saying before, this week was pretty wild with announcements. It was just today, was it? They announced the next game in the Like a Dragon series. It's like Pirate Yakuza. You get to play as Majima. Like, it's one of the things that I like about that series. They just like do whatever they want, right? It's like, yeah, what we'll turn the main series into an RPG series, absolutely. We'll throw in a card battle game with bug ladies, yeah, absolutely. Sure, we'll create a whole entire spin-off with a guy in a detective agency. Although now I have to go play, was it the Infinite Wealth game? Because apparently the Pirate Yakuza takes place after that, so I imagine I'll probably be spoiling myself if I just go straight to the Pirate Yakuza game without playing Infinite Wealth before it. Although I would have to also finish Yakuza Like a Dragon. I got pretty far in that. Then I just stopped playing it for one reason or another. It's like one of the reasons why I started streaming. So I have more motivation to actually finish a series, because I know personally I hate it when I go on YouTube, I see a video series and then I see it's just unfinished, and that's not something I want to do, so it gives me incentive to just like go and try to finish every game I start, so you get like that sort of complete playlist. Right, anyone who goes trawls YouTube in the future and sees say the Outer Worlds playthrough, they're going to get a full Outer Worlds playthrough from it. If someone wants to go look for, like, say, Lego 2K Drive, Lego 2K Drive playthrough, they will be able to get a complete Lego 2K Drive playthrough from me. Something I appreciate, and I think other people hopefully will appreciate it too. I've noticed that my VODs actually have been getting views. Like, I checked the statistics on YouTube, and it's like, oh yeah, your videos, they got like 300-ish views in the past 28 days. I'm like, what the heck? 300 people actually clicked into the VOD? Pretty cool. And I remember looking through the list too. I think I said it on Twitter, but I was like pretty shocked that all my Sunset Overdrive VODs all had a like on them. I'm like, man, someone actually bothered to give me the ups on it. I think they also had like a pretty considerable view time on it too, so it's not like they just like clicked into it, clicked like, and then went on with their day. Nah, they actually watched it. That's rad. Might be because, you know, Sunset Overdrive is like the only game in the series and it was fun and people wish there would be a new one, but we don't have that, so best you can do is just watch other people play Sunset Overdrive. Keep that dream alive, right? Maybe one day Insomniac will get to go make Sunset Overdrive 2. You know, just, it's gonna happen, right? Someday. You're not just gonna leave that cliffhanger be. Surely they'll continue it. What's the rent look like now? Still $300. Whatever, I can afford another shelf and card table. Probably could. Oh. The one announcement that did catch me off guard and came this week was Freedom Wars! Freedom Wars Remastered. That was a Monster Hunter-like game. It came out when, like, Monster Hunter itself was, like, on Nintendo consoles, like the 3DS and the Wii. So, like, left a bit of a vacuum for other games to try to fill, so it was, like, during that period on the PS3, PS Vita, and early PS4 where other companies were were having their go at the Monster Hunter formula. So yeah, Freedom Wars was one of them, and it was like one of the more fun ones. I remember playing through it and getting to at least the end of the main game and enjoying it. The fact that it got a remaster is pretty wild. Might actually be something I pick up because I want to support that, right? It's like, yeah, please bring more of these old games to new consoles. Keep the preservation dream alive, or at least let more people experience them, because, you know, it was on the Vita, and I'm guessing not a lot of people got to check it out because of that. But yeah, since we got Freedom Wars, I wonder if we can get, like, other games to kind of get remastered. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, say, Ragnarok Odyssey again. That was another Monster Hunter like that I played the heck out of on the Vita. I even got, like, the Ace update. It was pretty cool. And then there was also, Tokiden? I think that was made by Tecmo Koei, so... was it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was, but... I think they made, like, Tokiden and then Tokiden 2, and... that was it. Really didn't see anymore. It was a shame, because I enjoyed that. I think you can get Tokiden 2 on Steam. Although I heard the port wasn't very good. I think I can order another shelf and card table, right? Single-sided shelf. Oh, you're buying a lot of decks. Okay. Just making favor bags, perhaps. All right, got the shelf. Let's place this sucker out here. You stop smelling bad. Alright, let's go shove the other air fresheners onto here. At the very least, when I remember Freedom Wars' story, it had like an interesting premise, but they kind of threw it all away in the last part and just became nigh incomprehensible because for some reason, those kinds of works seem to have like some sort of obsession with scope creep, right? you start off with like personal stakes, but for some reason by the end of the game you're always gotta like save the world, or you're dealing with like some sort of major conspiracy, or like, you know, the classic fighting God, as the meme goes. It can be weird. But still, you always get that standard hope that, you know, if they had enough mind to go and bring out a remastered version of Freedom Wars. Can just hope that maybe they're trying to test the waters. Maybe if remaster does well enough, we might see Freedom Wars 2. And wouldn't that be cool? Would be pretty cool. You know, it's funny. It's been over 2 years since I had that incident where the One Sunset Overdrive stream was just like be completely muted, but I'm habitually just checking my audio levels now, making sure that that's all on the up and up. Probably a good habit to have, to be honest. Okay. Real quick, what can I stock this place with? Blue and red dice. Maybe a few more of those shark figures. Yellow deck boxes. You know, I should just like mark these off as I see them, right? Because cart data gets saved. It's not like, you know, your cookies just suddenly get wiped and you gotta go stick everything in your cart all over again. Although I only have like, what, $700 to get product, so I shouldn't go overboard. Should get some more of those rare packs. Oop. Nope, that back. And yeah. These, okay, $400, and alright, get a box of those. Not sharks. Nanomites. Yeah, that's my limit. Can we just stick it over here, right? Wait. Oop. Another nice thing to have too, just the warning. Hey, this box still has stuff in it. I almost forgot to. I think Tokyo Game Show is happening next week. I mentioned that on Discord as well, amongst my friend group, and they were like, "Oh, what's the Tokyo Game Show?" And I just told them, "Yeah, it's like you know, E3, but for Southeast Asian territory. So you get like the Japanese companies mostly kind of showing off what they got coming. So it's pretty cool." And I also said, yeah, it's like how Gamescom is like European E3, right? I forgot to get yellow deck boxes. Well, I'll just have to wait to make more money then. Although, it is a bit of a slow period, so why don't we get some cards to put on our new card table here, right? You know, as turbulent as this week was, there was like, at least personally, there was one upside to it. Was the person I commissioned to get like a new stream assets, they finally started working on mine, and we were kind of having our back and forth, and they were showing me like progress pictures and everything and what they were doing, and you know, asking me, hey, so what do you think of this? Are there any changes you want to make? And of course I would give them my feedback and kind of go back and forth on that. And you know, we finally managed to kind of get everything to a good point, and they're like, yeah, all right, everything's good now, so I'm gonna go ahead and you know, get this delivered. Like, yes. Another thing where like all the pieces are falling into place. At least more of them are falling into place. Just feels good, right? Feels good when things are like looking up, right? Like the things you kind of looking forward to, they're coming out, they're coming up, and you're like, oh yeah, they're everything I wanted to be and then some. And then the other part was like, something about this week where a lot of people were just like coming back with all the scab requests I put out like in the past month or so. I got like a whole bunch of them back, and like, so satisfying to get the art you requested back, especially when it's like of your OCs. This feels like, you know, you're getting fan art of yourself, and it's cool. And I actually had like a couple more. I had some more specialized requests in there this time. Like for some of them, I was like, yeah, I'll just like, you know, do art of my character, do them however you want, leave all the details up to you. But some of them, I put in some more stuff where I'm like, yeah, so I want them to have this outfit, and I want the scene to be like this, and the expression to be like this, and so on and so forth. And two of them where I had requests like that, they came back, and oh my god, the art was like everything I wanted it to be, and then some. Ah man, I'm just like so ecstatic about that. It's great too, because like one of the assets I commissioned is like a personalized schedule, so man, I got like so much art for that. I could have like several weeks worth, and hey, maybe I could like just rotate between pieces too, right? That should be fine. I don't think anyone will raise too much fuss over that for indies anyway. Like, you know, when you're like a big name, popular VTuber, you probably got like a whole ton of art you can pick from, but yeah, smaller name stuff might have to make do with a smaller pool, and that's cool, right? That's just how things go. I appreciate all the art, every single piece of it. Oh, hydrate and posture check. Whew. Thanks. Thank you for that. Alright. Gotta straighten myself up here. And now let me get my water. Oh. Heard that one, sorry. But yeah. Good old water. Gotta make sure to take care of yourself, right? Okay. Now we can move on. 479. It's a really good thing I loaded all my dishes into the dishwasher today. Just had a run of that, so now I got like a full stack of fresh dishes I can work with now. I was running pretty low. Normally I usually don't let it get that far. Like, to the point where my cabinet just becomes like empty of dishes and stuff. I usually don't let it get to that point, but I guess the past week was perhaps a little bit different. That being said, if it does get to a point where I start using like random containers as bowls, I might do like 1 or 2 days of that, and then I might go, okay, maybe I should go just load everything into the dishwasher and just let it go. You'd think it'd be like the easiest thing in the world to do, especially with a dishwasher, right? You just like stick everything in the dishwasher, you put in the soap, and then just let it run. That's all you gotta do. I live in an apartment too, so it's not like I gotta pay water bills or anything. At the very least, water is included in my rent. So I don't have to worry about, you know, using too much water or anything like that, thankfully. The only thing about the wire shelves, it can be a bit confusing on where you can stick your items. Oh, nope. Should probably get more decks. Decks and the yellow deck boxes. I think I got enough money for those, right? No, I only have enough for the decks. Yeah, we can wait a little bit. There's enough stuff here, people can get more money, and then I can just get those in one go and save a little bit on delivery. How do you order things? Are you the type of person who's just like, order them as you need them, or are you the type of person who's like, alright, unless I need it right away, I'm gonna try to group up as many of the purchases as possible so I can kind of minimize the impact of the delivery fees. I feel like I'm the latter. Unless it's like an item I absolutely need right away, I'll try to group them up so that I can kind of, you know, save on shipping as much as I can. Because, you know, that's just money that's kind of going into the ether. Like, it's a completely justifiable fee, to be fair. You know, you gotta pay for services rendered and all that, but this means you have to take into account as the end user. Oh. Put out the dime, I should put out a nickel and 3 pennies. Just sleeves, huh? I do like how everyone kind of just throws everything into a paper bag. Even if they're just buying, like, you know, a pack of card sleeves. I know it's, like, just for convenience of animation. It's fine, right? So something you're like, alright, we'll hand wave it. I'm fine with it. I just find it funny to point out. I think that's like a tricky thing to balance, right? Like trying to put in as many things as possible to make it feel believable, but not so many that it becomes overbearing, right? Like, obviously you don't want it to be so unrealistic, it just kind of takes you out of it, but also you don't want it to be so true to life that it, like, just bogs things down. Knowing where to streamline things and where to kind of just hand wave it off for the sake of convenience is, I imagine, a pretty important skill to have when you're developing these kinds of games, right? Man, I'm always getting like a tiny amount of profitable cards. The rest of them are just like selling for cents on the dollar. Basically just making my money back from opening these packs, right? I don't know if I should hire another employee. I should probably do that. Just stick them at the checkout line and have them take care of that while I go take care of all the restocking stuff. So, you know, the whole counting change and punching in the right price for credit cards is fun for a few times, but, you know, it becomes busy work after a while, which I guess is the point, but, you know. unfortunate. I gotta pay a lot of money to, you know, scout the employee, and then I imagine you gotta pay him a salary too. I don't know how much salary is in this game. Could be a lot, could be a little. Oh, I should probably check my rent as well. Sure I don't, you know, default on that. Ooh, I did read that some folks got like a kind of an early access look at a Pokemon TCG Pocket. Remember when they announced that like a while ago? It's kind of like you know, the streamlined version of Pokemon TCG. Apparently it plays well. Although the people who did play it were slightly worried about the monetization because it has all the usual trappings of the free-to-play TCG game. It's got the battle pass, it's got premium currency you can use to get more packs. Or at the very least, the way they do packs is like you get a pack every 12 hours, and you can pay like some premium currency to accelerate when you get those packs. So it's a bit of a contrast from the other free-to-play Pokemon card games like Pokemon TCG Live, which has no sort of paid currencies whatsoever, at least in-game. You can still like input the codes and stuff that you get from like the physical game to get cards, but at least you have the physical cards in that case, right? Apparently TCG Pocket just has the F2P trappings that you would expect, and yeah. Kids are going to be playing that, so people probably are justifiably worried. Like, obviously, you know, watch your kids, make sure you have your parental controls up, but sometimes kids are crafty. I know I was. You could put up all the safeguards in the world, and someone with enough determination will find a way around it. Okay, actually I think I can buy the, was it the decks and the yellow deck boxes, right? That there, and this here. Man. I wonder if we should get another table. I should probably rearrange this entire store. Like, I've seen other people stream this game, and they usually have the tables all in one place. Because that's how real life card game shops do it, right? They have the, it's usually in the back of the store where they have, like, you know, the place where you play games and stuff, and the front is where you have you know, the product to sell. I know layout doesn't mean too much in this game, but no, it would at least make things less I don't know, visually cluttered, I guess. I think 4 tables might be a good upper limit, though, because very rarely are all 4 tables occupied. Feels like that's just enough to kind of, you know, get the money out of people using the space to play their games. Has anyone done, like, tabletop gaming in real life in, like, in a comic shop or a game shop or anything like that? I have to confess, I have not. Only because, like, just the mere concept of it kind of frightens me. Just going out and playing with people I don't know. What if they suck? I don't mean, like, in this game skills kind of sense. What if they're just, like, not the best people? Is that something I should be? Is that like an irrational worry? Sometimes I worry. Okay, we're about hitting the closing hour, so I'll have some breathing room in a moment. Ooh, getting a lot of decks, are you? I mean, sometimes there's an advantage to getting a whole deck, because the deck list is probably going to be fixed. Most of it's going to be fixed anyway, so if there's a particular card you want and you want like a guaranteed chance of getting it, well, you might as well buy the deck box. Sure, you're getting a bunch of extra cards, but hey, you can choose something else to do with it, whether it be to sell it or just like make another fun deck out of the remaining parts or something. I need more sleeves too, don't I? Oh, it's closing time, so I'll just flip that sign. Let everyone make their final purchases and then can work on rearranging this whole shindig. Oh yeah, that was another game that came out recently that I was pretty interested in. It was like the Plucky Squire. Like a kind of an action game that was really leaning into that sort of storybook angle and was utilizing it. And it looks delightful, but the nature of it, I kind of want to save that until after I do my live 2D debut. It reminds me a lot of RPG Time. Remember that? Remember when I played that? And if you don't, well, you can check out my playthrough on the VOD's channel. That was a fun game, unique concept too. Did anyone do that when they were young? Did you do the thing where you would like draw out whole games on a notebook or, you know, scrap paper, wherever, and just have fun with that? You know, as a kid, you probably weren't worried about things like game balance and playability and what have you. I think I was like mostly motivated by that because it was like in middle school. My one friend did that. He would like just draw out entire games on paper, so I started doing that too. It's like just like whole ass FPS maps and everything. And, you know, we weren't worried about things like proper level design and what have you. We were just drawing stuff for fun. It was great. I did. Ooh, nice. What kind of games did you draw out? If you don't mind me asking. This is the part where I'm just like standing around awkwardly. It's like, so where are you two at your game? Man. You guys have anything to go home to? You got anything to do tonight? Like, you know, I got a partner waiting for me. They got dinner cooked. It's a nice pot roast. It's been sitting in the oven for a while. All right, great. You plan on buying anything or you leaving, right? You're going, right? Great. Awesome. Have a nice night. Whew. Thought they'd never leave. Good lord. Mostly platformers. That would be a good one to have on paper. Yeah. I think I did platformers as well. Oh, I can box this up for now. Oh. Wait. Reach that later. Another convenience of gaming. You always be able to kind of package things up for convenience's sake. Actually, this is something I would put at the back, wouldn't I? That's why the Fancy Pants games have a place. Oh my god, Fancy Pants! I remember playing the original Flash versions of that game a long time ago. And then when they came out with the news, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna package up the Fancy Pants games and you can go buy them on Xbox 360. I was like, oh my god, look at the glow up. And we're adding in like a whole ass new episode too. That was a glorious moment for sure. Okay, bills are paid. Not enough money for an expansion. Ah, jeez, where can I stick these tables? I know you can get the Fancy Pants games on Steam. I know they got the whole package deal. You can just like get the entirety of it on Steam, so that's pretty neat. Okay, I think I gotta box this up for now. Okay. Oh. It's not like the most ideal arrangement, but like the best I can do for now. So I can get another shop expansion, maybe some more money for shelves and stuff. There we go. I think there's enough room for them to kind of maneuver around, right? They're not gonna get stuck on any pads. Alright, let's wrap this up. Alright, how's about we do one more day? We'll go through one more day. Day 21. Oh! That means we'll have gone through an entire week. How appropriate. It's gotta be a metaphor, right? It's like a real life week, and then we go through a week in game. Ooh, that's a lot of decks, and there. Oh my god, they're all lining up. It's the rush hour, rush morning. It's like the new hottest product came out, and everyone's just chomping at the bit to get it. For anyone who worked in retail, were you ever in that sort of rush period? Have you ever experienced that? I imagine most people probably have went through some version of it. When I worked at a fast food restaurant for one summer, I definitely experienced the lunch hour and dinner hour rushes, and yeah, those were fun times. Fun in quotes, of course. Okay. You can get blue deck boxes. Maybe more of the pig figures. Maybe some more of the rare boxes. Oh, blue and green now. Okay. Let's see. Green. Blue. Oh. Oh, we're in ad mode. Take a break. I really should think about hiring a new employee. Just look over the resume and see who's good at doing checkouts. I can tend to the other stuff. I wonder if the devs are thinking of like adding a multiplayer mode. Just have yourself a group session. It'd be like, you know, you open up your own shop with your friends. I knew a group of folks who kind of tried their hand at running a tabletop game shop. I think they lasted a few years before they decided to kind of call it good. They closed up shop and moved on to other things. Oh man. Another rush hour. Those folks. Okay. 10 to 87. All right. Whew. I think I have a little breathing room finally. Right. Some stuff on shelves. Nice thing about the deck boxes, the packages come in neat little portions that fit in one part of the shelf. One of the things I like about this game, even though you have like 2 options for buying stuff, the unit price stays the same, so it really is just like a convenience factor. No bulk buy discounts here. Because people would buy the more efficient option if they had that. I do wonder if employees in this game always kind of, you know, do like the perfect change option, or are they prone to errors? Is that something you'd even realize? Because, you know, on not LinkedIn, you just see like, what, checkout speed and stock speed. That's right, doesn't matter which card. If this were a real-life card store, you'd obviously want to be stocking different cards, but this is a video game. I can just, like, work my way down the list. I got so many of these super-duper cheap cards. What's the difference? I see a stinky person, I think. Oh, 2 stinky people. Okay. Hey, stop being stinky. Okay. They're not stinky anymore. I saw one of the future furniture options you can get as like an auto scent blaster. I think that's where shop layout will start mattering. Because I maybe looked ahead a little bit and I was seeing people kind of setting their shop up in a way so that people, you know, automatically get scent blasted and freshened up. You know, you'd obviously have to restock the auto scent blaster with the air fresheners, but small price to pay, right? This is tempting. Yes, so why don't you go buy it? I should buy more sleeves. Oh, I should buy more playmats as well. Running low on those. Yeah, I'm gonna do that now. Accessories. Regular sleeves, branded sleeves, and playmat. Ooh, I should have bought more air freshener. I think I'm starting to run low on that. I usually turn on the lights around 5 to 6. I feel like that's like the most efficient way to kind of use the lighting. Minimize my electricity bill and all that. Okay, wait, do I have... No, just have to keep that on the shelf. Alright. Lights on. Now I will continue servicing you. Ah, you mofo. Breaking a 20. Not a bank, you fools! The duality of humanity. I always say deluxe card pack is a little expensive, but they buy it anyway. So I really don't have any incentive to bring down the price, because it's like, oh yeah, you folks will just slap it right up, won't you? I have enough money to get that next figurine set. Oh yeah, I do. I'm buying a card box, alright. The party box. You know, if I get like any TCG product, it's probably gonna be one of those bundle boxes. Something that gets me a decent number of boosters and some extra tchotchkes to go with it, but... yeah, I don't think I'm gonna, like, say, go shell out for a whole ass booster box, right? It's not just about the cards, it's about the accessories that go with it. How else will I be able to flex in other ways? That isn't just, hey, check out my super cool deck with super cool cards. Oh, I got a license for the Epic pack. Probably want to wait a bit before I pick that up, though, because holy cow, that license is expensive. Oh, it's just 149. Oh yeah, I got enough money. Shell out for that. Brought some epic packs on the shelf. Rarity boosters. Crap. Don't have any space to put them though. And I forgot to get air freshener. Please buy a card sleeve or a play mat so I can use that shelf space for something else. Please. Actually, I could probably consolidate these dice, can't I? Does anyone play Dicey Dungeons? I played that like a long time ago. The game is great, but the one thing that always kind of not sat with me the right way is that they called everything dice, even like the singular form of die, right? And the thing that you normally call it die, they would call it dice. I imagine it's a thematic thing, but always rubbed me the wrong way. Game is great though. I'll definitely want to play it on stream though. That's one of those things I'm waiting for post debut. I'll get there one of these days. I will get there. Oh, we're done. Huh. Ooh, I forgot to set the price for these epic packs. Whoops. 5. Oh. Market price 10. Yeah, you know what? That works. If you don't mind sticking around, I want to do one more opening session for the road, because this is going to be the last day. We'll close it out like this. Alright. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Ooh, $5. Okay. We made our money's worth on this one. Got here cheap. $1, okay. Almost $1. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Very cheap. Meh. Could have been better. Got here. Nope. Okay, that was okay. No, no. No, no, no. Dang! Is this pack 3? Oh, hey, $5. Alright. Hey, card table's gonna get some decent stuff for the next day, huh? Could have been worse. Ah, that's it. Man, alright. Let's put them out here. I did see one of the things the devs have put on the roadmap is letting you play this card game, which I can appreciate, right? The game that's called TCG Card Shop Simulator. It's a nice, sure is a nice bonus to actually be able to play the card game that this game is all about. I think they said they were planning on adding other TCGs as well, which should be interesting. Like, this is obviously the Pokemon equivalent. I wonder what else they'll throw in there. Like, are they going to have just like an analog for the real-life card games, or are they going to try something different? Or like, are we going to see something like, say, a Marvel Snap-esque game as another product, for example? Okay. Well, in any case, go ahead and save it here. Day 21. I think we're sitting at a good spot. Slowly getting there, but that's what this game is about, right? Just slowly expanding your empire, making your number go up, and just get that sort of satisfaction you get from starting out small and turning yourself into something of a bigger name, right? I'd say, you know, if you like what you see here, then might be worth picking up. It's like, I think it's like $12 normally, but it's on sale right now, so 10% off. So hey, not a bad time to get in here. If you want it, right? But yeah, I think that'll do it. That's gonna be a short stream. Again, thanks for being patient with me while I sort out my real life things. Yeah, so I don't think I will stream on Sunday of this week because I just need that time to do my own thing. And next week will probably be Gorilla week as well. So yeah, stick with me. Hopefully I'll have things wrapped up by next weekend and we can get back to business as usual. Take care. Yeah, you take care too, Christian112. Thanks for hanging out. And thanks to everyone who came by and chatted, and even if you just lurked, I appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, it'll be touch and go. I'll keep you updated. You can check Twitter, you can check YouTube community tab, you can check Blue Sky. I'll try to pin messages here in Twitch chat as well. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. All right, let's look for someone to raid. Although I should probably, before I do that, go over here, stop raids for an hour. Good. All right, I think it's like past the point where people might raid me, but yeah, you can never be too cautious, right? I don't know. Still have memories of that other time I was about to end my stream and then suddenly I was like, raided! And, oh man! Okay, well, I guess we're gonna play for another hour. I ended up playing for a bit longer than that. That was certainly a stream. Appreciated it though. You know, it's always great to get raided. It's like, oh man, people want to share their community with me, and that's always freaking rad. Yeah, once I switch over to like my personal overlays, I'm gonna do that thing where I'll switch back to like the chat screen and then I'll turn off the game, and then you know, I guess it's like one of the things I need to do. It's gonna be on my checklist, like find some background music, either like commission someone for like a personal piece or see what I can find in the public domain. It was a while ago, but I think someone on Skeb who does like audio stuff actually put in an appeal and said, "Hey, I want to compose some music for you." And I'd been kind of going back and forth and wondering, should I get something from them? That might be fun. I did listen to like some of their music, and it's like the kind of typical music you would hear at like a VTuber stream, right? That sort of you know, synthy, poppy style music. It's like catchy, fun to listen to. Man, got two people I got kind of want to raid into. Trying to decide. Okay. Actually, I think I made my decision. So we played a game that has like elements of random chance. Maybe I'll just send you to someone who's streaming a game that happens to have random elements of chance. Okay, where's the... Here we go, there's the raid button. Actually, I guess that would be the other thing. Do they have raids open? It looks like they do. I remember raiding them before. It's been a while since I raided, so maybe I'll raid them again. See if this goes through. Okay, it looks like it has. Yui Suzukaze is playing Epic 7 as a gacha game, right? The gacha game where you collect the characters and you have them fight enemies and sometimes other players. Yeah, RNG, right? Like you opening booster packs on the TCG. Okay. What should we get? What should we raid? What should our raid message be? I guess since this is what this game is. Again, I'm not feeling too original, not feeling too creative, so there. If you're joining on the raid, give them TCG raid, and if not, have a good weekend, have a good next week, and I'll see you next when I stream. Take care. Yeah, really hoping I can get things wrapped up by next week, right? Alright, see ya.